Oh my god, why? Why do you do this crap? Porn. Can I get past this wave? Yes, I'm not listed then. I just beat Killbot! I just beat it! I just did it! I just did it! Let's go! Let's go! I just beat Killbot! Yes! Oh! Yes! Yes! Let's go!
Just kidding.
The youth was the hardest part. Ugh!
I know it is.
Anger, rage, anger, rage.
That's late.
Anger, I'm so mad. I am
DreamLight,
What is going on?
I'm so mad. Diameter. Diameter.
What is going on?
What just happened?
Step forth and be recognized.
DreamLight.
That's
DreamLight.
Oh, he's got some dick.
What is going on?
That's not how you do that part.
DreamLight's just singing Phobos.
Blood for the blood god.
Not possibly.
DreamLight's just singing Phobos.
Yeah.
What the?
Are you okay, Jargonix? Are you good?
No one physically hurt.
Yeah,
I'm in so much pain
I could
now.
tell. I could tell by
Are
how...
you okay? Are you okay?
Best. I'm not good. I'm
You're
good.
the thing, I'm curious.
I'm good.
Wait, what?
He left.
Where'd he go?
You had to hit him with the diameters, huh?
I just said you're the thing, I'm
Diameters of good.
15.
Frozen Cave got
Fuck,
played.
hey.
Well.
No, I'm joking. Trolled.
I hate you.
I hate you, Brad.
The Liz Demon, I hate you.
I
It's
am
a
going to
joke.
make a Geometry Dash reference by
It's
Blitzer.
actually popular. I almost got arrested.
Yeah.
Popular
he did.
almost got arrested?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
Wait, in real life?
did. Yeah,
What
no,
did
we're
he
not
do?
joking. He actually, no, he hit his
Like 2 days
girlfriend.
ago.
Why?
Ain't it?
I bet he's in jail right now, like getting into the prison. What's up, dude?
What's up, dude?
He's gonna walk into like jail,
He's gonna
like
do a
I don't know. He's
collab
gonna walk
with
into jail, like the intro song. Go no, clown.
Blah, blah, blah.
What's your name?
Blah, blah, blah.
445. Who are you? Popular Mimos.
Let's collab.
Wait,
Why?
DreamLight, look at VC chat. It's funny.
No.
Yeah, I saw that.
No, it's actually. It's actually not a crash GIF, it's an image.
Is it? Is
Yep.
it? Let me look in VC
That's a
chat.
crash image, I call it. It's a crash image.
Oh, that's awesome.
I
Yeah,
know,
that's great.
with all my-
Yeah. 4 to 90.
No.
No,
Yo.
get out, get out, get out,
No.
get out, get out, get out, get out, get out.
Guys,
Why does your profile picture like that?
Yeah, why is your profile
Oh.
picture a zebra?
guys, come with me.
Why?
You know I can just get just
No,
No.
get out. No, no, get out, get out. Get out. No, he's here.
Like I stated.
You know, are we just gonna surrender? 'Cause, like, how
Yeah,
long?
I think
yeah,
we just
okay.
surrender.
I'm sorry. We surrendered, moved back. Okay, no, I guess we're all joining here now. Okay, awesome.
Well, what about on death mode?
Impossible to trigger.
So technically, if you beat Killbot on death mode, it's gonna be your best achievement.
Yeah, I don't even want to play Killbot on death mode, dude. Killbot on death mode is the on parry's like super buffed version. I am not messing with that.
Did you beat up my dad in 77?
What?
Never mind.
Are you implying that I'm old?
I don't even wanna. I don't even wanna ask what was just said.
I would never build such a
Oh,
thing
you
that
make
would be
a
so
peanut butter
ridiculously
jelly?
hard,
Oh
basically
my
humanly
God.
impossible.
We're about to make the worst thing humanly possible.
I would never do
why
such a
are you,
thing.
okay, this is a terrible start. You're putting peanut butter into an empty bowl.
What? The thing is, who likes peanut butter? Worst thing in the world.
Okay.
Am I right, boys?
I want to see where this is going. I want to see where this is going.
I love peanut butter. I feel like we're gonna vomit.
DreamLight, don't
No.
look at a screen share.
I am
You're
already
gonna
looking at it, dude.
No, why?
Where is this going?
Oh my god, that looks like a turd or something.
Why is this rated? It's literally polar ice bit easier.
Is that
Am I
your,
the only
is
one
that
who
your
hates
dish?
peanut butter?
Yeah?
Water.
Oh my god, stop.
I need to...
Stop, bro.
Don't walk barefoot. What if there's a nail or something? You just imagine your mom's like right behind you right now watching this.
Imagine.
Oh, stop, bro. Stop. This is disgusting.
Why are you
Stop. What is he making?
Anyway,
He's making like the best peanut butter design ever. You guys gotta
What's
try
up
it.
there?
first one
Oh.
to
Oh, he's...
brr,
He just died.
first one to
What was that about?
first one to beat
No, we're not done.
beat Chungus
We're not
Ubu
Oh, I
17.
thought we were done.
Uh-oh, what are you grabbing?
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet.
What are you...
What did you grab?
I'm scared.
What did you
He
grab?
died.
Scared.
Oh, is that
Applesauce?
applesauce? No, no.
What the fuck is he doing?
You got no.
What you're talking about? My school lunch is pretty good.
Rappers made their music.
No, you got more.
Why? More?
More? No.
No.
I'm just saying, if your mom wakes up to seeing this, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do if your mom sees this?
No, it needs more peanuts.
No.
Why?
No. Stop. Stop it.
Peanut butter and applesauce, not bad by themselves, but
Yeah,
together
but
it's hard to see.
Or let's
Kinda
have
like-
it this.
Oh my god, what is that? What is that? Oh god, what is that?
Salsa.
Salsa?
That's salsa.
No.
That is so sad.
No, don't put in the salt.
Why are you putting
That
salt?
was
Okay.
so. It is
You're
so
staying-
sad that Steve Jobs died of Ligma. Who the hell is
What?
Steve Jobs? Ligma balls.
Oh my god, dude.
This
You're,
is
what do you?
disgusting. You're gonna. Yeah, this is definitely the potion of harming too. I was right.
No, he's just eating what the Rock eats for like his muscular build.
The Rock. The Rock.
Yeah.
Hydra. He eats what,
Hydra, you
this
might
concoction
actually,
of
like-
death.
You might actually legitimately get sick from this.
Thank you.
I'm gonna like look over and there's gonna be oranges in it.
Yeah.
Don't give him ideas, DreamLight. That's
Man is summoning Satan. What the fuck?
No, he's gonna start putting like a mac and cheese packet in there or something.
He's putting Kool-Aid. Is that Kool-Aid powder?
Oh
Wait,
my
that's
god.
sugar.
Okay, I'm
That's
pretty sure
sugar.
he's summoning Satan right now.
He's making the
He's
Rock.
putting sugar in there.
He's
The
ma-
Rock.
He's making the Rock.
Guys, would you rather eat bad or pure sugar?
I would rather.
Pure sugar.
Anything other
Yes,
than
sure.
that.
Eating pure sugar is actually
No.
Is that
good
almond milk?
because like it tastes good, you know?
That is almond
What the
milk.
fuck is he doing?
No.
Imagine this actually ends up being really good and he actually eats it.
Yeah,
No.
I mean there is
Hey,
kind of
pouring it
salt
out
in
like
I'll
there.
jump out my fucking
Oh,
window.
no.
Oh my god.
Oh.
This mom's gonna kill him.
Think we're done?
Like,
Oh,
wow, the
no.
ingredients!
No,
Yeah, I
what
ate
is
them.
that?
At once.
Is that salt?
Careful, kid. High concentration of salt can kill you, lead to coma or death.
I was
What,
gonna
what,
say, like, if I
what are you
accidentally
doing?
turn
what
on my
is
camera,
that?
I will
What
die.
is that?
Is that
I'm
butter?
back. What are you doing?
Is that butter? Please tell me that's not butter.
His mom is gonna be pissed when she
How's your
finds
mom
out they used
sleeping
all
right
the
now while you're
ingredients in
doing
the
all
house
this?
to make that double sauce.
Dude, I'm actually crying right now. Like, I'm actually crying.
Oh my
That looks so gross.
That is so disgusting.
Guys,
No.
Do not eat
Do
that.
not.
Hydra, I swear to
Oh
God. do
my
not eat
God.
that.
You are going to die. You're gonna choke on one of the peanuts.
this
Oh
could be
my
last
god,
time
what
I
is
ever
wrong
said
with
this to
you?
You're gonna get the
What?
flu!
Oh my
No, he's
god.
gonna get like everything from that.
Guys, I need silence.
Okay.
You're gonna
Okay.
bring back
Okay.
the black death.
I'm eating my mic.
Yeah, same.
Same.
I'd rather eat like 100 cockroaches than this.
Alright, guys.
Dude, you actually ate.
He's
Wait,
dead.
did
He's dead.
Did he eat it?
He's dead.
Dude, what the hell is wrong
I don't
with
think
you?
he ate it. I think he
He's dead.
tried it.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
He's probably has food poisoning right now.
Oh my god. Who's playing the alligator intro?
Bro.
He's gonna. Hey guys, what's up? Today we're gonna summon Satan.
Don't do it again, actually, please.
It actually looks. Oh, he died. He just fell to the floor.
Hey, before this portion starts, I just want to let you know this is over half an hour long of me just rambling about Killbot. So if you want to listen to that, then go ahead. But this is just supposed to be like a listening experience and just background music or whatever. So just know that. Yeah. Okay. Enjoy. Okay, so here's my review of Killbot, I guess. In this review, I'll just be like explaining what my thoughts are on the level, and I'll be explaining how to do some bits. Not fully though, like some of the other videos on like that, because they do a better job. Like for example, Doggy's Killbot video. But yeah, okay, so let's get into this. Okay, for the first 11%, which is the pre-drop of this level. This is it's one of the easiest parts in the level, don't get me wrong, but it's really annoying to do, and it really wears you down quickly because of it's one of the most high CPS parts in the level that you have to do. Like the chains of orbs and stuff, that you have to do is, for me, having 5.8 CPS, which I will be mentioning that a lot, and how it makes the level way harder for me. It's just, it makes it so much harder, and just having that at the beginning of every single attempt wore me down really quickly, and I had to take, like, breaks for every, like, 5 minutes or so, and it was really annoying. Just, I couldn't play for more than 4 hours, like, in a day, or else I would have, like, really, really bad hand pain. Just mainly because of that, and it sucked. I wish it wasn't like that, and there was something different and less spammy, but whatever. As I said before, it's one of the easiest parts in the level, and it took me only about 500 attempts to get down. The ball for me is the harder part, and the only really timings that I died to and spots that I died to frequently after I learned the part were the mainly the chains of orbs that I was just talking about, and like the first few clicks of the ball. That and like one spider click. Yeah, one spider click. That was like an invisible spike that sometimes you can die to if you timed slightly too late, but other than that, yeah, this part's fine. It's decent, I guess. On to the drop. Okay, for the drop seems like if you're just a viewer just watching this level and not planning to go for it at all, then the drop seems like it's just super intimidating, and it like is impossible to get down at first. This is definitely one of the hardest parts in the level to like learn and get down, but after that it gets really, really consistent, and it's actually probably the easiest part in the level, ignoring a few choke points for me, like the 23% spam and the 30% spider. If those were removed, then this would be by far the easiest part in the level. Unlike the first part, it's not as high CPS. There's in the second half of the drop, after the spam transition at 23, the CPS just like it becomes a bit higher in general, but the first half is very, very consistent, and if you make it to the drop... Oh! I should mention the 17% spider click, too. It's actually... You can either click twice really fast, or do a double click. I found it to be, if you do a double click, it's, like, way more consistent. So I'd recommend doing that. Like, I just, like, hit my spacebar and, mouse at the same time, but there is a timing to it, and you can't just hit them both immediately, or else you'll... If you touch the, if you touch the top of the block, then it's pretty much over. If you just slide on the top, because after that, you're pretty much dead, and you can't do anything. You just have to accept that you're gonna die, and you're gonna have to get back there, but... Getting back there is really easy though, so don't stress out if you die there frequently. Yeah, one of the easier parts in the level, definitely. The second half of the drop is pretty annoying. There's this one buffer click with the dash orb in the robot. It's like the third click after the part where you hold and there's the spam. That was really annoying for me. Cause just I'd always time it slightly too late, and I would like barely not buffer. I'd hit it extremely early, but it wouldn't be enough, and just that was really annoying to have to get used to, and I never fully got consistent at that. But that is probably the hard. Okay, I was gonna say that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part of the second half of the drop. The hardest part in between the drop, which is I believe like 15 something to 34, is the 23% spam. This never really got consistent for me, and it was a pain. It was really a pain. Like, you could spam and it does nothing. Just, it's so weird. I'm not fully sure how it works, but like, the main thing behind it is you just have to buffer each click, and individually thinking about all the orbs and buffering it is like really hard to do, and I opted out like doing it a different way and just clicking. You can click to the music though. Don't worry about that. You can click to the music and then you'd be fine. That's for the most of the part too. Just like if you after you learn everything and you click to the music, it's mostly fine. Like, you could just listen for the audio cues of like when to click, and it's fine for the most part, aside from the few choke points that I mentioned. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about the drop. And now on to the dreaded 35 duel. Oh boy, the 35 duel. This is where most of your attempts will be from zero. Like, at least for me, deaths-wise. For here, mostly what I did is I just had to focus on the wave. You could do it, focus on the UFO or however Doggy said to do it. I don't fully remember that, but just, oh god, this part sucks. This part's so bad. I had a little over 10,000 attempts playing from zero, and I bet more than half of those were to this duel. This is where having 5.8 CPS like me makes the level way harder. For example, like right as you transition into it and get out of the dash orb, you have to do 3 little clicks where you have to just slightly move your wave down just so the UFO jumps into the right spot. But I do not have the ability, like in the second little chamber or wherever, you can't spam there. So you gotta like kind of maneuver. If you can, click 4 times, which if you do that, you can click to the beat. But my body and hand just physically does not allow me to do that. So I had to do this in 3 clicks, which made the part miles more inconsistent. It's so annoying just having to... Oh, most of your attempts there die to the UFO. So if you die to the wave, that's a you problem. But if the UFO kills you, that's literally RNG. It's so luck-based at 39 and 38. If you have that low of CPS, it's absurd. Then after that, getting in between the gap to, like at 40. 40 is the easiest part of that duel, which is still not saying much because that duel is literally impossible. Like, I'd say bordering on the hardest part of the level. Yes, it is that hard for me. It is comparable to the last UFO. Getting into the 41% gap at the top with your wave, you don't have to focus on the UFO here because it usually does itself and it's fine that way. But just doing the, oh my god, just getting into there, I could not find a consistent method. Sometimes I'd go late, sometimes I would go early, and it would work. Mostly, if you try to time it early and have your wave like slide alongside of the slope, usually that tends to work more for me. So I guess I'd recommend that you do that. But if I was just really late, if you're extremely late and you barely manage to get in there without hitting the platform, usually you'd actually be fine. But if you're in between those 2 spots I just mentioned, then the attempt is dead, because if you try to align and click to the music, then you'll just hit the random troll slope that's there for no good reason. I don't know why Lithifusion put that in there. It's so dumb. But anyways, just that dumb troll slope is there, and it messes things up and makes the part way harder. I don't know. The UFO on the bottom of that one section at 40 to 41, it's actually I think it's 41 to 42, but there's only really one spot that you usually die, and it's if you click too fast. It's like the 3rd portal, I believe, but that happened a lot to me, but it's fine. For me, when I died in this level, like in between like 54 and in between 54 and 38, it's just completely fine. Like, you'll get back there in the next few attempts if like you've learned the entire level and you've got consistent, which is really nice because you get far often in this level. So yeah. Anyway, transitioning out of it, you want to focus on the wave, and there's actually D blocks at the bottom of the wave for 2 blocks, I think it is. So make sure to keep that in mind. And usually I need to do 2 clicks to get out of there successfully into the transition, which transition into the next part sucks, but whatever. The UFO's fine mostly in this, just focus on the wave, but sometimes you can click too early, like slightly before the yellow portal, and then just fly to the top at 43, which that sucks if that happens, but you have to deal with it. But after this part, there's a little, I'd say, kind of break part, but not really in between that and the 50 wave, so let's talk about that. Okay, at this point I started to actually keep track of my deaths right after that wave, because if I kept track of my deaths, that'd just be way too hard and tedious, like having to switch between that every single other attempt. But yeah, 45% onwards I started keeping my attempts, which is at the swingcopter part of the level. 45% swingcopter is absolutely brutal. It's you get past the 35 duel and your hopes are up, oh my god, I'm gonna get far. And if you died of 45%, it's all gone. It just gets shattered instantly. I died at 45, I believe 125 times. I'll show an image of it since I kept fails log, but I died there over 120 times, which is just infuriating, and it shouldn't have gotten to that point, but I did not take the time to get more consistent at that, and that's a me problem, I guess. You can click to the music there and do it in 3 clicks, but I like to do it in 4. It's more consistent for me just because you're clicking fast. Before you say oh, if you can do that in 4 clicks, you should be able to do the 45 wave or the 38 wave at the bottom in 4 clicks, but that's just not how it is, because in the 45 duel, or yeah, the swingcopter part where you have to go through the 1 part gap, it's more of uncontrolled spam. You just kind of slam the mouse and then that's it, and you're either past it or not. But the wave, you have to actually calculate it and make sure you get out and release after that at the right points, where unlike that in the 45% swingcopter, you right after that it's really easy up until the next 5%. So yeah, that swingcopter, if you get past 45, you're mostly fine. You do have to hold a little bit because the cube jumps at the top. So don't forget that, because I did that a few times and it was really stupid, and yeah. You get past that, and the second swingcopter is absolutely free compared to the first. You get launched into it nicely, it's fair with that transition, and it's 2 blocks gap at 4 or 3 times speed, which is easy enough, but I still managed to mess that up around 15 times, and it really sucked. Dying there was the ultimate slap in the face, because the 50 wave for me was the 3rd hardest part in the level, so dying right before there at a free part compared to other parts in the level is, yeah, just a slap in the face, that's all really. Anyways, on to the 50 wave. Yeah. Absolute garbage. This part sucks unbelievably. It's so bad. It's just, it's probably just because I suck at wave, but I died here so many times, and it's so frustrating, because it's the brink of okay, if you're at the if you're past that swingcopter duel, then that's what I'd consider getting far. But usually, this is one of the hardest, this is definitely the hardest wave in the level. This is 3rd hardest part of the level, and this wave is between 50% and 53%. I'm splitting the next wave into a separate category because it's way easier, but the added amount of stress of you're kind of far, if you get past this, then you're most likely getting to list percent, which means you're most likely getting to the last ship and last UFO. So yeah, I died at, let me read off my fails list. 50% 19 times, 51% 43 times, 52% 31 times, and 53% 74 times. It's so... Imagine getting far, and then... 74 times you die 53% is the last 3 clicks of the wave, by the way, which are the hardest clicks of the wave. The hardest clicks of the wave are the first 2 and the last 3. Anywhere from that, like, the 2 random big spikes to the end of that, and like the beginning of it's hard because you have to like adjust into the click pattern, and doing the first click of it is pretty difficult, and dying there sucks, which I'll show a clip of me doing that and how I feel about that. Yeah, basically that. And dying to the very end of it sucked too. I can't really say much other than this sucks. For this part, completely ignore the ball. The ball is irrelevant. It does itself while you're doing the wave. It's fine. I don't think you can even do that part if you focus on the ball, but whatever. This part's garbage. This part's really bad. That's all I have to say. Okay. Now time to the second half of this wave. Okay, unlike the last wave, this wave is really easy, but it's really chokeable at the same time now, especially the last click. But yeah, this wave is just it's the exact same thing as the last wave. Just one duel does itself, and you just only have to focus about the wave. Except, yeah, the wave here is a lot easier than the other wave compared to. I really don't have much to say. In the old version, this used to be way harder before it got a mini nerf day, which mainly there used to be saws here, which you had to dodge, which I'm assuming would make this part 20 times harder, but yeah, that's not there now, and the part's pretty easy. If you're playing from a start position and practicing this, it's like you should be able to do it every single attempt. But yeah, the added stress of like getting past that wave makes it just way harder. Yeah, last click of this at 60 and 59% sucks. I'll show a clip of me dying there. Actually, I lost the clip. Never mind. Yeah, it's really chokeable. The last click is the hardest one of that wave, and dying there it sucks so much because the duel after this, which I'll talk about right now, it's so much easier than everything else. This duel, absolutely free, but you still die there. That's just the Killbot experience. The cube and robot duel, for this part you gotta focus on the robot mainly, but you do have to be aware of the cube for the first 2 timings. Which, first timing, you look at the robot, you have to time like the jump like as you're falling, or else you will jump and immediately die at list percent, which is, I did that many times, and it sucked. After that though, I only died at 2% in this duel, which was 62% I believe times 8 or 7, and I died to 66%, which is the second to last click once, which I shouldn't have died there because it's just really easy, but that should go to tell you, compared to everything else, how easy this duel is. Unironically, after you learn this is like medium demon difficulty, this duel. It's really easy, but at the same time you get to list percent and it is chokeable, so I'll give it that. It's probably like hard demon, but it's still really easy compared to other parts in this level, like the last UFO and the 35 duel and 50 wave and such. Yeah, after that you get to the I believe it's the 70%. Yeah, it's at 70%. It's the spider and ball duel, which is a lot harder than the duel before it, but it's still kinda easy once you get it down. You gotta focus on the spider here. That's pretty much it. You can buffer this, but at the same time you can't. I don't know, I think it's different from a start position, so don't be an idiot and buffer everything. Just slightly, if you're here from 0, first of all, you should probably already know this, but if you're here from 0, then you gotta wait just a slight bit for every single click. Just I'm giving you this advice in case you do that from 0 and you buffer it and you die to something stupid that you shouldn't die to, like this clip I'll show. yeah, I don't want that happening to anyone else. I died to 71% a lot, 74% a fair amount of times, and yeah, once you get to this duel, like, if you get past 60, then this should be a straight shot to the last ship, and most likely the last UFO, just because of how much easier it is, but then again, it is very chokeable, so just be careful. Oh boy, last ship. Originally when I got here for the first time, getting here for the first time, it doesn't matter if you're like me and fluked from 48 to here. I still don't know how I did that, but first list points, I guess. Getting here for the first time is really nerve-wracking, and if you get here, don't expect to get to the UFO, because I died here 4 times before I got to the last UFO. I died to 82, I died to 81, I died to 83, and 84. So, yeah, don't beat yourself up if you don't get to the last UFO first attempt, because it will happen if you keep playing eventually. But this is actually hard. This is, the first part of Killbot I learned. Well, okay, I actually learned the 60 duel first, but I did that in, like, January. So, that doesn't really count. When I was actually trying to go for it, the first thing I did was the 77% ship, which is a 77 to 87, which is, yeah, last ship. Yeah, pretty hard and extremely chokeable. Your mindset here, after you've got to the last UFO a few times, is just, okay, I'm gonna get to the last UFO. You gotta prepare, but don't think about that too much, because you're gonna die here eventually while trying to think of the last UFO. You're like, oh, I'm gonna get 90 plus. Oh, I'm so awesome. But no, if you're at that mindset, you're gonna die at 84 or one of the straight flies and just not. And you're just gonna be very disappointed in yourself. I died here, I think, somewhere between 10 and 20 times at the last ship. I think it was like 15 something. But yeah, very hard timings with the orbs. And there's a skip that Vink taught me, which, thank you, Vink, you're awesome. He's really cool. He also trying to beat Killbot. He already has, actually. I'm really dumb. Sorry. He told me something that you could do at 82, which I really advise that other people do, because at 82%, after you transition and hit an orb, you could just hold through one of the 2 block straight flies. I'm not exactly sure on which orb it is, but I will play a clip of this while I'm talking right now. So it's that one. Just do that. If you hold it, it completely removes the timing, and it makes it a lot easier. And I highly recommend doing this, because I died here originally at 82, and I did not know that, and I could have got to the last UFO from fluking from 48, but I would have died of a heart attack if I did that, so I don't know. Yeah, that's all I have to say, really. If you die here for the first time and your best is in between 77 and 87, then I'd say you're probably around 60% done with beating the level, like the entire process, because you will die at the last UFO, and if you're watching this and you have not played the level or experienced it, then it is as bad as people say it is and make it out to be. I died at the last UFO a lot, and yeah, okay, let's talk about that now, because I really want to. Man, this part sucks. Last UFO, it's hard. It's really, really hard. If the last UFO weren't in the level, or if it were, like, not even comparable to how hard it is now, this would most likely be, like, close to falling off of the list. Okay, I'm not really the one to say that, because I don't have progress or opinions on anything around it other than Bloodbath, which is Legacy, and that does not really match my opinions with that, like in LR versus Pointer Crate. But yeah, this would not be as hard as it would be if the last UFO wasn't there. I died at the last UFO a total of 28 times. Don't expect to die there that much if you're going for this and want to go for it and that scares you away. I'd say normal last UFO deaths is in between 5 and 15. So I just got very, very unlucky with it. When I first got to the last UFO, I somehow fluked the hardest part of it, which the first half of the last UFO is definitely the harder half for me. It's just more inconsistent, and like the first initial click into it from the ship is kind of inconsistent, and if you mess that up or go too late too early, it really throws you off. So yeah, first time I got here, I got past all of that. I got to 93, and that was a real shock. But after that, my luck was all gone. After after fluking from 48, no, not 48, from that was the last ship, never mind, ignore that. From, like, just fluking half of the last UFO, my luck was all drained, and doing that fluke originally before. I died at, after 93, I died at 94, 96, and 97 as new best, which really sucked. 94, that was painful, because that's definitely the easier, like, probably the easiest click of the last UFO, actually. 96 is, I kind of expected that. Still kind of weird spot to die, but yeah, whatever. 97, very chokeable, but yeah. After getting 97, though, I beat it, luckily, only a day after. Like, if I didn't beat that very soon after, that would have took a hit on me mentally, probably. And that would have really killed my motivation, because I was very close to beating it that attempt, but kinda, okay, dying there was kind of a blessing and a curse, because at one hand I died to the last possible feasible percent in a main list, trying to jump from a legacy list and pointer crate. On the other hand, my recording was off, and it would have sounded really bad. Like, the desktop audio was like a second off, so I don't know. I guess it's fine though, because I beat it only a day after, and 2 last UFO deaths after that, but yeah. Also, if you're trying to do this, then, if you're struggling with the last UFO, trying to do it for the first time, doing it for the first time is definitely the hardest part of getting it down. Because it took me 2.2k, I'm pretty sure, so 2,200 attempts to get it down for the first time on the decorated copy. Which, that sounds like a lot, but after you do that, it gets a lot more consistent, and eventually you build it up and up and up until you could do it like every 10 attempts or so. Because, yeah, I don't think, unless you're someone like Fishy Fox that like grinded it like a lot, then expect to die here a lot then. It doesn't, if you're not consistent one day and it takes you like 50 attempts to do it in one attempt, or to do the whole UFO, like 88 to 100, then don't let that demotivate you, because that happened to me for like 2 weeks. So yeah, just if doing the last UFO in one run it matters a lot, but if you're doing that run every day and you struggle more than others, then it sucks, but it's fine, I guess. Because for me, at least, once I got to the last UFO from 0, my nerves made it so I was a lot more keen and aware of like me being there, and just it was usually easier for me with nerves, which sounds kind of weird, but it's what happened. Yeah. I guess that's all I really have to say. I guess I'll mention the final spike too in this, because I don't want to make that a whole separate section, because it does not deserve to be. Please don't die at the last spike. There is a last spike there. It's very small. It's just, I don't think it's possible. No one ever in Killbot for like 4 years or so it's been out has died to the last spike. It's not a hard jump at all. Just please don't forget about that. Because that would be, quite honestly, very depressing if you did die there from 0 and died there as a new best. Anyways, yeah, that's all I have to say about the last UFO, and that kind of wraps up the whole level, and now I'll give my overall thoughts and experiences for it. So, here we go with that. This level, overall, I found this to be a really positive experience. I really liked playing Killbot. There were some points where I was very demotivated, but the worst this ever got was a 5 out of 10 for me. Which, I mean, that's kind of more of a mindset thing, because it depends on how well you are equipped with, like, mentally dying at the second half of the level over 100 times. I think I died at the second half of the level, definitely over 200 times, so it just, I wouldn't say expect that, but at the same time do expect that, because usually if you think you're gonna do worse than you actually will, that helps you. I don't know, I don't know. It's good. It's a good level. The gameplay overall is really fun, I'd say, except for a few spots which are kind of annoying, which mainly was just because of my low clicks per second, which, as I've mentioned several times in this video, is 5.8. If I had a higher CPS, this would have been like a 10, not a 10 out of 10, but like a 9 out of 10, because having a low CPS just makes some parts way harder and way less consistent. Speaking of consistency, this is like the most consistent level I've ever played. At one point, I got to the last UFO twice in a row, which is absolutely insane. And I almost did it again, but I died at 86. And then, basically, I got to the last UFO twice in a row. Twice. So, yeah, this is really consistent, as most people say. It's just good. It's an awesome level. I really like the theme around it, about, like, computer virus or whatever. That's sick. Memory levels, that's sick. I like memory levels. They're my favorite type of gameplay, usually. Memorizing stuff for me and getting down click patterns and just getting consistent at stuff for me is one of the best parts of the game, and it's so satisfying. The moment you learn everything in Killbot, it's just bliss. It's such a good feeling, just getting it all down. That took 6 days for it to come to me, but that's because I learned this doing a specific way instead of just learning it all as quickly as I could, which I'd recommend doing what I did. What I tend to do while playing this level is I'd take, say I'm playing from the last ship, and then I'd do that to the last UFO, and casting... Okay, I'll get to that later, but... Then after I do last ship to last UFO, I'd put my start position at the next section of the level, which was 60. And I did 60 to the last UFO, then I did 56 to the last UFO, all the way up to 35 to the last UFO. No, I actually did. Never mind. I did last UFO, not last UFO. I did 35 duel to 100 actually, but I almost did a localizer run, and I actually did 10 to 90 once, which if I did that run, that would have been really, really funny, but at the same time, it would have really hurt, because doing that run is like 98% of the difficulty of just playing Killbot. Another thing I was going to mention, don't stress yourself out if you're not getting runs to 100. Don't expect to get runs to 100, unless you're in the later stages of playing Killbot, because doing runs to 100 and like stressing yourself out and just grinding for hours on end till you get past the last UFO from say like 49 or something, that's not a good mindset, or that's just not a good thing to do. I'd say, at least. I'd at least try to do last duel to 100. I made that my daily run, but most people do that or whatever. Some people just do like 77 to 100, that's where the last ship starts. Whatever you feel comfortable with, but just know, okay, if you don't do runs to 100, just make sure to kind of like over practice the UFO. But best runs I had with this level was 35 to 100, which I got in the last, second to last day before I beat it. So I don't know if that really counts because that didn't impact me too much, but I did the Swingcopter to 100, which was a really good run because I was not expecting to do that at the time, but that's just how it unfolded. And I did the 49 to 100, I believe 5 or 6 times. Once again, I would not recommend doing this if you're planning on beating the level. Just, that's what I did. I guess, if you wanted to know. Absolutely stellar level. I really love this. I would play Requiem or like another memory type level like Killbot if it weren't impossible, like Nihel or Nelf, whatever. I don't care how you pronounce it. That or Requiem, yeah. But I guess that's just how it is, and that's my refresh rate I play on. I don't know. I could probably do it, but I don't feel like I want to after spending 31 days playing Killbot. Those 31 days, though, were awesome, and I would highly recommend this as a first main list, or just not a first main list, since this, by the time you're watching this, it's probably not a main list, if you're even still watching at this point, because this is going to be like over a 40-minute video, but whatever, I get whatever. If you are watching right now, thank you, and you're really awesome. But yeah, highly would recommend this level to people. This is a good level to just play overall. It's pretty, it's not even pretty, it's really accessible, and it's pretty low refresh rate friendly too, but that doesn't really mean much since it's still really hard on low refresh rate, but yeah, I guess. Please play this level is all I have to say. If you want to do something in that range of the list, choose Killbot. It's really fun. It seems very, very intimidating at first, which it did for me, but what can I say? That's just how the cookie crumbles. After you learn it, best level ever. That's not true, but it's really good. Anyways, I think I should be ending this video here. It's way too long. Whatever. Please subscribe, that would be really appreciated. And thank you for listening to me ramble about Killbot for 30 minutes straight. You're amazing. See ya. Have a good day. I'm gonna play a clip that I originally was gonna put as an intro, but I decided against it because people said not to, so I guess you could have this as a little reward for sticking along and almost listening to my video for almost an hour, so here it is.